everybody! Oh, I don't know. You know what? Let's do it in French today. Salut tout le monde, je suis de retour avec un épisode de Mon Bazou. My French is so bad. Thanks again for tuning in. We're playing a little Mon Bazou today. I think I'm going to plant some of these maple saplings. Once I find, there it is. Look at this. I'm a genius. Oh my God, all these are cuttable. We need to chop, 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 oop, chop, 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 chop. I think it like connect. Oh yeah, it's all like together now. I like that. Okay. Hey, dude, stop it. Dude. See, I like this now, because you used to have to pick them all up individually. Now, it always misses one. It doesn't matter how furiously I click. Oh, God, I got all those ones. Oh, how many of these can I get? This is going to be an interesting episode of just me doing this, but I wonder how many we're going to have planted by the time we're done. Hey, I got all those. Nice. Okay, what do we got here? There, we got all that. And then this. Okay, that one works. Okay, where did they... That's 210 more cuttings right there. Jeez. Can we plant 210 trees in a single episode of Mon Bazou? Who knows? We're going to go get other trees, but we don't want to get the birch ones because they don't help us too well. There we go. We're going to run around and collect these because we have a lot of trees to plant today. That's my goal. That's a pine tree. We don't need that either. We're going to do those eventually, but not right now. Oh my God, there's so many trees. Should we get all of them, do you think? Do you think I should just do, like, all the trees? Like, is that stupid? Like, that's stupid, right? I'm not... Such an imbecile. Yes, the dangers of allowing SkapeGote to do something in excess. This is what happens if you don't monitor his behavior and keep it in check. I am the product of stupid, and I will do so at my own peril. Okay, let me... Look, man, stupid is all I got. I'm not good at video games. I just play them. Okay, here we go. I'm some sort of mad genius right now. Just with a set of clippers. Like, once I start doing something... and I find it funny, or I just get locked in, man. It's just I'm just like right there, just waiting in the wings to do something silly all the time. And this might be my magnum opus of stupid. I haven't decided yet. And I like Leo's along for the adventure here. We keep an eye on my poutine and whatnot. This is going to be a day. So if you guys see it going down, and you just type into the comments, dude, you're not paying attention to your stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. How many do you think we're going to have total? I'm going to say about like 300 maybe. I don't really have that many outside of my specific farm because I cut a lot of them down for firewood early on, and I just kept, I replanted and I was aware of that. I just knew I'd have what do we got here? We got 3. Oh my God, this is going to get dumb. I guess I don't need to get all of them, but I'm going to get a fair amount of them. Because people are like, you need more trees, they need more trees, they need more trees. Okay, you know what? You want more trees? You're getting more trees. Okay. I don't think we'll be able to fertilize them all. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. How are these? Okay, I thought these ones weren't cuttable for a second there. I was like, I haven't touched these trees in probably a year. What the heck? Okay, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. Why is it only 22? Why is there only 22 here? What the? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we have these 22. How was there only 22? I just had 375. Where's my clippers? All right, maybe something happened and they got left over here. Does it only let you get a pile so big and then it resets? Well, that is disheartening, isn't it? I think I just leave my stuff just laying around. I don't see them anywhere. Why do I only have 22 now? Oh, what's this? What is this? Is this just what I left over from before? That's 2 pine cuttings there. It seems to have, like, I don't know, reset them or something? Oh, wait a minute. What have I cut here? 398. What is going on here? Was it just so far from the other ones? That might be. That could be a thing. Okay. Where did we left those in there, so it must have connected them all. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're planting trees now. Get ready. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to line these up as well as I did before. Not enough space. There we go. Okay. Are you excited for this as I am? Look out, Leo. Okay. There's no way to, like, really place these effectively in a grid, so we're just kind of making it up as we go. Although this seems very weirdly spaced. Like, I feel like I could... Yeah, I can put one right there. But not there. Well, it's not going to be perfect, but we'll do our best. Let's see here. Oops, that's too close there. We got to go this way a little bit. There we go. At least they're somewhat in a line. Is it? Is it because the chainsaw's in the way, buddy? Oh no, where'd they go? There we go. Okay. This is going to take a while. I have a plan, actually. Oh, no, there's not a space there. Okay. Here's what we're going to try. Since we're we need to have a space here. Like, these will all grow, and that's fine. But we have 337 more to go. And the problem with the 337 more to go is that we are going to struggle to get these to do anything we want them to. So what we're going to do... Are we connected to this tree? Yeah, here we go. We're connected to this tree. Where are we connected on this tree? All right, we're going to do this. Trust me. Okay. Where are we in relation to the road? Okay, there we go. Okay, that's about as far as I can go before I hit the beach. And then we're going to do this. Okay. Okay, we don't want to do it backwards, though. Okay, I was hoping I could just hold the button down, but I can't. So we're just going to do this and head off in a straight line till we bump into a tree. And see how many we can get to go all the way across the yard. And then we get to the far side of the yard. Okay, this is where we have a problem already. All right, so hang on. I'm going to... Where am I going to put this? So I know where I am. I'm going to put it by this big pine tree. Okay, now we're going to have to go get our chainsaw that we left over here and then hopefully be able to find those so we can plant all that. I like on, I commented on the long drive, what's that called? Steam forums about someone's complaining about how the game hasn't an update. And I said, they said, yeah, they're obviously lied and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, they're working on it. Like, I kind of know the guys, like, they're working on it. And, they just tried to tell me it's full of crap. And then some dude tried to lie and make it sound like, well, you don't play the game in like months. And I'm like, dude, I played it like a few days ago. And they decided to give me a community award for being a joker. And I'm very proud of that. Ugh, there we go. Hack this up. Probably hack that one up. I'm very proud of that. I do not mind. Like, again, I'm an adult. I don't care. Like, what are you, 12? They were just trying to lie to suit their narrative and make me look stupid. And that is exactly what people do nowadays. Instead of actually having a cogent argument, they just lie about stuff instead. And so he was trying to make everybody else who was commenting on the thread look, oh, this guy's just making crap up, which is not something I do. I have better things to do. Okay, let's see here. That, and I can only comment about once a week because I have a job. So I don't have time to, like, engage in that type of stuff very much. I was just trying to the community, like, I kind of have an idea what's going on because I'm kind of in the know about it, and I just, without saying too much, I wanted to kind of, keep people's hopes up that it isn't just, they're not just ripping you off, but nope, they don't want to hear that. They just want to get angry because that's what people only want to do nowadays. I don't know if people live in that type of anger all the time and just are okay with it. Like, they're just like, yep, this is what I want to be. Like, man, if I'm angry, I do everything in my effective power to not be. Like, that is, my goal is to not be angry. And I think that's a good mental health lesson, is that if you're super angry about something, why are you living in that, man? Why are you hanging in your anger like that? It's not going to make it any better. And there's a million ways to get yourself away from being that level of anger. And then people just don't do it. It's all very obvious stuff. If something like, for example, in this case, the long drive is making you angry because they haven't updated in a couple of years, okay. Don't play the game. It literally will say on the Steam website for a game if it hasn't updated in a while. So it's not like it's not right there, easily readable for people who like want or think about buying the game, they could easily see it on the front page of the long drive. It's like, this game hasn't updated in 2 years. It says right there. And I understand the disappointment. I get that. I'm just saying, if it's bothering you that much where you feel the need to complain openly in public, then maybe you shouldn't be playing it anymore or even worrying about it anymore. Just move on to something else. Like, and then they use the skills. I just want to warn people. The warning's there. You don't need to tell them. I'm telling you, it's not good to. It causes stress, and the stress hormones you have are horrible. They cause everything from like high blood pressure to cancer. You don't want those high, even at a young age. You don't want those. Okay, now where did I leave my sticks? That's going to be a bit of an issue. Oh, there's no, it's not. I found them right there. Okay, but we got to light this on fire so it can at least disappear for now. Once we get to back here, I think we're going to have to turn around and go the other way, but that's okay. We're going to grab this and burn that pile of wood. Because I ain't cutting down all them trees. That's cruzza. Gonna grab a little bit of this paper here. Oh, that just apparently stopping to have a little Canadian siesta. All right, let's bring my little ball of paper here. Every Canadian up in cottage country has this old newspaper pile that they keep a lot of Canadian Tire flyers up in that thing to help start a fire with. I don't know what it is about Canada and outside stuff, but I think it's because, 3-4 months of the year, depending where you live in Canada, you definitely are kind of confined by the weather to what you can do. Now, we've learned to have a lot of fun in the winter, and I highly recommend, if you're ever going to come to Canada during the winter, go to Montreal and experience winter in Canada through Montreal, because that is a brilliant place to visit Canada in the winter and really enjoy your time here. There's all sorts of winter festivals in Quebec, and it is as much fun as I've ever had in the snow. Except for that one time, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? She was nice. All right, but the point is, we now have a giant pile of burning wood, and that is exactly what we needed. Okay, this is what keeps us happy. We're going to have to cut down those birch trees, I think, but until then... Where'd I put the map torch? There it is. It's right behind us. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be like, you can't put anything there, bud. We don't want to leave that right next to the fire. It's probably a bad idea. Okay. I've never thrown a map torch into a fire, but I imagine, due to flammability reasons, it's probably not the smartest thing to do. I'm just down on the beach now. Oh, no, there's no grass here. Durr. Okay. Let's line up this way. I wanted to go there, but now that the fire's burning there, I think I'll just go... Let's angle it this way a little bit. There we go. Why is it doing this to me? Leo, you can't stand on where I'm planting, buddy. Apparently you can. All right. We'll do this until we hit road, and then we'll stop. Dude, what is happening here? What? Why isn't there enough space here? Apparently we have to do that. God dang it. This is like industrial farming. Oh, there we go. That's as far as it's going to go that way. We still have 239 of these left. Okay, well. I guess we'll do the same thing again till we hit road, and we'll just keep doing this. Okay, this is What do you mean not enough space here? There, come on. We're kind of getting off track here from the original. I'm going to try to scooch over just slightly. Yeah, these are not going to be straight lines. You know what would be nice? And this is going to sound really stupid. But it'd be nice if we could, like, string something up. Like, for example, when I used to do tree planting for charity work, they used to put a string up and you would plant under the string. So you could do a straight line-ish. Yeah, this is not very straight, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to leave this right here like this. Where's my chainsaw? I left it here somewhere, right? There it is. Okay, let's cut down these birch trees, which I don't like to do because I don't have that many of them left, but I do have some birch saplings, so we can always replant if we need to. There we go. Is that a little better? Well, it'll do for now. Now we just got to hurry up and run this over to the pile and get this stuff burning up. It's going to take me a few minutes, but I think in the end it'll be a funny experiment to see how it goes. And we get to get rid of all this wood that's in the way pretty quickly and easily. I should probably cut down that birch tree too that's right there. You know, the Native Americans around here used to build canoes out of birch bark. There we are. You know, I should cut down these trees that are right beside it. We're going to need to start collecting a lot of taps and stuff because we only get 10. And we have, what, nearly 400 here? Trees we're going to have to tap, at least. So we're going to need, like, 40 of those things. And you only sell, I think he only sells like 4 at a time. So we're going to have to run to town every day for the next little while. My maple syrup sitch is getting a little bit interesting. And buy up whatever he's got because I think he sells 4 at a time, maybe? Is it 6 or 4? And then tubing on top of it, right? Which is another thing. Like you get 10 tubes per roll. I think I got a couple left, but it's not going to be enough. And then we're going to have to make a giant pile of tubing and what. Not till we, that's easy enough to do while the trees grow because it takes 10 days for the trees to grow. 8 days, 10 days, something like that. I'm sure you guys are excited about this episode. Yeah, I used to go and plant trees, help out a little bit with stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Get outside, get to dig holes. Like, I got lucky because I didn't actually have to bend over and plant the trees. I, most of the time, just dug the holes. And you don't need to dig a very big hole for the saplings they plant, so it's pretty easy. We're gonna cut these trees down too. God dang it! This is just trouble waiting to happen. I can feel it. But at least those will be closer to the fire. So excellent. This is what happens when you take on a mega project in a game that is not designed to be a mega project. They expect you to do this like 10 trees at a time, 15 trees here and there. Not suddenly planting 400 saplings. Like, that is not in the game's code to even consider. There we go. And then we'll start a new fire over there if we need to. All right, let me see. These three got to go. We're going to run a chainsaw here. There we go. There we go. Perfect. See, if you just do it right, it mostly will fall onto the... Leo, don't sleep by that log, buddy. Okay. And then these can go in here. They burn up pretty quick, you know, now that when you look at it. Go. There we go. You can go and look at the logs just flying around just on fire. This is probably... Well, we'll definitely have some environmental concerns. All right, you get in there. You need to burn too, fool. Same with this one. Get in there. I don't have time for you to not be on fire. Leo, what are you doing, bud? We may have to speed this process up slightly. Is everything on fire at least? I don't have my console. Okay, well, if I had my console, I could speed up time. Maybe I should go do that. Because if we wait for all this to burn down, it's going to be a while. So, let's go to the house. We'll grab the console, and that way we can... Or whatever it is. Besides, we can use some maple syrup right now, too. Grab some poutine, maybe drink a coffee. It's 4 in the afternoon. We're going to run out of daylight soon. So, let's see here. Do we have any poutine left? I thought we're down to like 1. Oh, who left the door open? There we go. We're going to have that. I have maple syrup here. That's fine. We'll just leave that there. Drink a coffee. That really doesn't give you much energy back. Oh, yeah. I came back for the console. I think this is like a Game Boy Advance kind of idea. I haven't used this in a while. Nice. Okay. But you can see that fire from a ways off, eh? We're just burning everything down. Suck it, game. Now, if we boop, 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 it might go through relatively quickly here. Okay, let me see. Save game. There it goes. Okay, so maybe we should sleep. because we can't see. So that was a mistake. Fair enough. Point proven. Silly me for thinking I could do something. There's some other trees I want to burn anyway, so we'll do that. We'll have a little nappity nap. And then we'll might as well put the console back on the charge. I thought it would at least be a little bit of daylight left, but apparently, nope. So here we are at 7 o'clock at night going to bed because we're basically old people at this point. All right, bears, bears, bears. Console can sit here. There we go. Bedtime. Let's go. What, sleep to 2100? Oh, God, made it all the way to 23. All right, we'll go all the way till morning. Hey, Leo. We should put a green shirt on if we're going to be planting all these trees. And, oh, are we getting up? Are we getting up? Put on my green shirt. Okay, perfect. Let me outside. Grab my console. All right, let's see. It's a little bit dark, but not too dark. Sun's coming up. So if that's east. Is that where the sun comes up? Yeah, okay. Let's see. Now I gotta find my staplings. Or there they are. Okay, so I have noticed along the path this way. I think we could probably get another row in at least. Let's try that before we worry about the tree. Okay, where did I... balls. Where did I leave it? Ah, here we go. Thank God for the torch. Okay, let's see. Let's... Oh, that's not grass. Okay. Don't be rude. There we go. You can probably hear my mouse clicking furiously. We got about half done, though, and that's exactly where I wanted to be before having to cut down all the trees. We're kind of widening out here. I'm going to try to slip back. What's that dance that they do? The people do it. They mix up their float and slick back. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, I guess we're just bringing it to there-ish. This is not good, Lancer. Okay. So we're definitely going to run into a tree again. But let's plant as many as we can before we run into a tree. There we go. There. Yeah, this has been a fun episode for me because I like doing the random weird stuff, so... Yeah, I'm on board with anything strange or to excess. Like, I was playing that chip breaking game, and I thought to myself, like, I used explosives and it barely does any damage. And I was thinking to myself, what would happen if you took every panel you could find and just covered it in one explosive and then blew it up? There we go. Like, and that just got in my head, like, could I spend 5 episodes just setting all that up? Who knows? Okay, let's see. This is... Okay, yeah, so we're going to grab some paper and the map torch, which at least the map torch is right here, and we'll burn those up. And we may have to cut these two down over here as well, but we'll see. Actually, I'm totally positive we're going to have to do that as well. And we'll burn those up, and that should give us enough space to plant a silly amount of trees. Welcome to Arbor Day. You can suck my Arbor Day. This is how I play games, okay? Sundays I get it in my head. You know, like one time in Skyrim, I just started collecting spoons. No reason, just spoons, and then expanded to not just spoons, but like knives and forks and whatever cutlery I could find until I had every container in my houses filled with them, and then they were on the floor to the point where sometimes when I'd enter my space, it would be down to 3 to 4 frames a second and the game would crash a lot. And I just kept collecting them anyway. I don't know why. It just became a thing. And I enjoyed it a lot. It was fun. There's my spares. Okay, there we go. Put you right there. I'm going to light you on fire, buddy. And it's going to get some of the wood on fire. I'm not sure it's going to get all the wood on fire, but it's close enough where you can just kind of start piling it up. And that should get rid of most of this wood here. And then we got 2 more over there I should probably get rid of. Nope, this is good. This is burning. That's burning. Now, these 2 are going to have to go, but the question is, at least these 2, do I bring them, cut them up, and then bring them to the pile? Because it's only 2? Or do I start a new fire? You know, I'll just bring them over there, because at least, maybe just a 1 for now. Nah, I better get rid of this one, because it's going to be a problem for sure. All this game has made me do is want me to start my own chainsaw company called Jobber. I think that is a great name for a chainsaw. Guess I should probably cut that other log up there. There we go, and there we go, and there we go. Okay. Dude, pick it up. There we go, and then this. And onto the pile. Onto the pile. And onto, yeah, we've had a lot of these burn days. And that's good, you know, we're cleaning things up. Getting ready for mass serpal. But sometimes I just want to leave the game running so the trees will grow all on their own. But then it's like, dude, you'll die. Because, and being I got permadeath on, that's probably not the smartest thing to do. Dying affects your permadeath runs. Did you ever see that Minecrafter who was playing this like hardcore world for like 5 or 6 years? And then he died to, I think it was like a miniature zombie. One of the child zombies, or I guess they're not children, they're just tiny zombies. And he was just so devastated. I felt bad for that guy. There we go. Okay, I'm going to stand right here, and I'm going to bring up my thing and save the game. There we go. Burn, burn, burn. Burn, 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 burn. Burn, 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 burn. Okay, here we go. And now we can get back to planting trees. There we go. This reminds me of the old way I used to plant the oregano, because you could just you couldn't hold the button back down then, right? So you just kind of had to click furiously and walk slow. And not grass. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Don't be a jerk. Don't need to be a jerk, buddy. Not grass. You're dumb. I'm not dumb. You're dumb. Okay. There we go. There. Dude. We only have 108 to go, which is not a ton. Consider we started with 350. Oh, we're getting off course. Correct. Bring her around to 060. Oh, we're off kilter again here. Oh, we're off kilter. How did that one get planted there? Oh, okay, you know what? Not grass. All right, let's do it back this way now. There we are. I don't know, man. You can plant some stuff in sandy soil. If you go up to like where I live, we got a couple. I live right between the Great Lakes, and you can find some pretty sandy soil. They'll plant stuff. And go down to Port Stanley. You can find it there. Port Stanley, by the way, if you're looking for a nice place to go to the beach, Port Stanley. Yep. Beautiful lake beach. Real nice sand. Sometimes dead fish, but not often. Oh no, this is there. Torch, you're going to have to move over here, buddy. Right into the open where I can see us so you don't get lost in the weeds. That's what the game needs. A lawnmower. Oh, that'd be fun. I appear to be drifting again. There we go. Why am I drifting so far here? I've really gone off course somehow. There, that's not grass. All right. Yeah, I somehow got on the windy path here. How many got? 43. Not grass. Not grass. Not enough space. There we go. Not. How's that not grass right there? Okay. There we go. I'm going to bring it in tighter. There we are. Oh, a little too tight. That's what she said. Dude, come on. There we go. Solve that problem. Listen here, game. If you want to try to mess with me, we can mess with me. But I will win. I win everything. I never lose. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see. There we are. 21. How on earth did I get this far out of whack? Son of a... Oh God, I'm stupid. Thank God we only have a few left. of course, this is going to be right in the way with the last two, right? There's no way it just could work out for me. Okay, there we go. Okay, there, perfect. This is just dead tree. All right, perfect. Now we got a field of little tiny plants here that are going to take forever to grow. Let's go drink some maple syrup. That was a good episode. I think we did some good work here. Let's drink out of this here. Now back to the house. See what's going on over there. We're going to have more trees hooked up than any human needs. And, well, when it finally happens. So we're going to see about that. But we'll get there because that's how we do. So I think we should try to produce a bunch of fertilizer. And then the next episode, we'll go start collecting tubes and stuff so we have them. Leo, what's up, buddy? Okay, come on. I got to go to the basement. Okay, let's see. 90%. Okay, that's great. Okay, let me see. Can we produce some fertilizer? Maybe we'll try to fertilize at least some of them. Ooh. We got beans. There we go. I think I'm going to have to kill bean production. I really do. I don't think we have any use for any more beans. Because all I'm using them for is this. And we could keep some coffee beans aside. We could regrow a coffee bean plant. Potato! There we go. There we go. Replant the potato. How many potatoes I got? I got to just get a tasket. Potato full of basket. All right. This is good. This is good. We should bring the wheelbarrow over. The wheelbarrow. Oh, yeah. We need to feed the machine here, too. Yeah, we just end up using it all for this type of stuff. But that's fine. We can get more out of it. We also have the composter, I think, at the other place we could use to get it. But yeah, I'm going to leave this episode here because that was the most exciting episode I'm sure you've all ever seen. So, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please leave a comment. Maybe subscribe. Maybe tell your friends to subscribe. Maybe get your dog to subscribe. Your horse, chickens, your cats, your mice. And if you didn't like this, well, you should probably find yourself a real YouTuber because I'm not sorry, losing my voice. Not much of one. So, au revoir, mon ami. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.